Washington. My name is Joe Falk, and in the immortal words of Harvey Milk, I'm here to recruit you. We all travel our own path to becoming an advocate. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story, a journey to hell no. You know, I was born in Miami, and it wasn't always the gay mecca that we know today. When I was first coming out of college, I went to a gay bar. It was a small place. It was dark. There were no flags. There was no sign on the door. You had to enter through an alley. The cops raided the bar that night. They turned on the lights. They made us all stand in a line, humiliated, cowering, staring at the floor. The cop came over to me and said, grumbling, "Oh, hell no." Years later, I realized that that was the start of my pathway to advocacy. And so some forces were trying to end an LGB human rights ordinance in Miami, in my town. And I was sitting in a theater listening to the executive director when he said, "We must fight." He challenged us. He said, "Stand up to the bullies." And at that moment, I said, "Oh, hell no." I made my first donation that night. And I later joined the board. And our community pulled together. And we won that election. This same Miami-based LGBT group had a vision, a goal. It was LGB. But the commission could vote to add the T. And so we counted votes, 13 commissioners. One commissioner stood in our way. Now what are we going to do? And so one man who's here, Christian, stand up, Christian. This man said, "Hell no, we're going to add the T." And you know what he did? He found a candidate. We threatened the commissioner in her upcoming election. We pulled the community together, and we beat that incumbent. And what do you think happened at the next commission meeting? You got it. We added the T. Because one man said, "We will not be defeated. We will not be defeated." This is our power. This is your power. If we choose to use it, use our power. Listen, I've watched in horror since November. We know that bullies are coming for us. And sitting in front of that TV set, I said, "Oh, hell no." And I became the chair of the Victory Fund. I stand here today because that is my pathway. I made my choice. How about you? My path to advocacy has traveled for many, many years. But I'm asking you to stand and fight with us as we expand LGBT political power. Here's how you can help us. Run for office. And you can win. Gay candidates raise hundreds of millions of dollars, and you can do it. Join our Victory Campaign Board. Help us advocate, endorse, and raise money for local candidates nationwide. Host a party for one of our endorsed candidates. Or donate money to the Victory Fund today so we can find more, train more, elect more authentic voices at all levels of government. Join our board of directors. Yes, we've got some slots open. We will make room for you because our board charts our path forward. We ensure financial stability, and we make sure that we are focused on mission. So, my friends, this is your moment to step up. This is your moment to choose. Make a commitment to ensure LGBT equality. I've made my choice. I am a full-throated, no options, in your face, hell no. Help me, Washington. Say it with me. Hell no.
Hell no.
My honor at this time is to introduce our next speaker, Victory's new fantastic leader, CEO Evan Lowe. Mayor Anise Parker. Anise Parker is here today. Help me say thank you to Anise for 7 years of amazing leadership, amazing leadership. Evan is not only family, he is our product of the Victory Fund experience. He was first endorsed by the Victory Fund in 2004. He started his career in Campbell, California on the city council. He became the youngest LGBTQ+ mayor at that time. He went on to have a decorated, decades-long career in the California legislature and assembly. He was a Bonnet Fellow, which we help endorse, and a member of our Victory Institute. So he's endorsed by us. He's been on our boards. His career is a path to victory nationwide. Evan is a mission-focused. He's got big ambitions, and he's going to fight and lead us through building power, political power, at all levels of government nationwide. Please join me in welcoming CEO Evan Lowe.
Thank you, love. No. Thank you, please. Boy, how wonderful it is to no longer be in office. You don't do anything in a round of applause, standing ovation. I'm so sorry to all of you elected officials. Thank you very much to our board chair for your passion and your commitment to our community, of course. To each and every one of you, welcome. Welcome to our family. And we're so proud to see each and every one of you here. I also want to, in the good spirit of helping to ensure that you know it is not just about me and our illustrious staff, but the countless board members and the contributions that are helping to make the Victory Fund what it is and meeting this moment. And if you allow me an opportunity to ask, if you're a board member of the Victory Fund and the Victory Institute, would you please stand? Friends, please give a round of applause to our board members. Chris Abele, John Airwood, Ken Bohan, Eric Blackwell, Mark Busey, Charlotte Clymer, Joe Falk, Ellen Farrell, Paul Feeney, Kaya Ferrari, Caroline Fisher-O'Neill, Neil Giuliano, Mike Holloman, Paul Horning, John Horton, Nancy Katz, Jay Kumar, Juju Elliott, former Mayor Lightfoot, Claire Lucas, Brian Maloney, Michael Matt Miller, Matt McDermott, Robert Meza, Eric Nelson, Ambassador, Rebecca Prozan, Howard Polchin Ramos, Wade Riggs, David Reed, Catherine Rice, Twan Samuel, Campbell Spencer, Ben Stokes, Lou Vega, Brady Walkinshaw, Gretchen Wetzel, and Rhett Wilson. Another round of applause to our board members for your service. As Joe mentioned, this is somewhat of a homecoming. Coming in the sense of back at home. Growing up, I, as a good Chinese boy, like a good Asian, was supposed to become a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer. And so I did exactly that. No, I didn't. At 20 years old, I ran for office. And I ran for city council. And Victory Fund was with me then. And at that time, I ran and I won with the most votes in the history of the city. So here's the thing, that actually did not happen. I lost that first election. Revisionist history. But what did happen was my parents were disappointed that I did not become a doctor. But what did happen was that Victory Fund was there with me each and every step of the way to help ensure that they caught me and threw me right back in. And I was successful at 23. Victory Fund invested in me, helping me become the youngest openly gay mayor in 2009 at that time. And it was different in that period of time. When I became mayor, I could, as a government official, officiate a wedding, but I could not get married myself. I was asked by the blood drive to host a blood drive on city property. By the way, we have a non-discrimination clause in place. But I was, as mayor, was prohibited from donating blood on my own blood drive because of the FDA lifetime ban then on gay men donating blood. Since then, we have come a long way, or so we thought. Victory was there for me when I ran in the state legislature in California, where I just concluded 10 years in the California state legislature. Which, by the way, California, shout out to our Californians. We're joined by former retired Senator LaFonza Butler, who, by the way, always supports us at the Victory Fund. Thank you, Senator Butler. You heard from Congressman Mark Takano, the OG Gaysian. We also have Assemblymember Chris Ward, chair of the LGBTQ Legislative Caucus, who's doing incredible work, who single-handedly helped kill an outing bill, even in California. And of course, we're joined by our Attorney General, Rob Bonta. Mr. Bonta, thank you for joining us here. Funny story, you were listed on our program, and so many said, ooh, is Mr. Bonta a member of the community? And I said, well, he is a Yale grad. He is a statewide constitutional officer for the fourth largest economy in the world, that of California. He is a silver fox. But no, he's not gay. I said, sorry, no one's perfect. But we thank you very much for being here. Progress. Sorry, it wasn't in the script. Progress. The pendulum of progress swings back and forth. And a few months back in 2025, we've gone back decades. Never before has a presidential administration legislated us out of existence with such abandon and vitriol. And it's imperative that, of course, that we are here. The bigots are only starting their assault on us, and we must be here to march and extinguish that type of attack. They continue to erase us, threatening things like revoking even our own LGBTQ plus Victory Fund and Institute tax ID status. And this is real, friends, which is why it is important that we are here and that you are showing up. And of course, it says a lot more about them than it says about us. We've always chosen the path of hard truths. And what is that hard truth? That our community has grown comfortable, complacent, that we've had rights. Now what? That we have the right now, perhaps limited circumstances, to donate blood. Still yet, our trans brothers and sisters are unable to get health care. We still have the right to marry for some and the right to adopt, but children are still told they are not authentic in themselves. And so that's why we are in this room, to make sure that we're meeting this moment in time and working hard to ensure that LGBTQ representation is here. And this is the fact that some of us in this room have rights that some do not have. And it is our obligation to pay it forward. Liberty is not guaranteed, and freedom is never free. And I'm going to get to that freedom nor brunch is free. The arc of the universe may bend towards justice, but only if we bend it towards that way. Our community must stand together and fight in allyship until out politicians are not the exception, but the expectation. That's what we do here at the LGBTQ Victory Fund. You cannot be what you cannot see. And thank you very much, Eric Russell. I see you nodding your head, our state treasurer as well, too, that this is important. I know that Mike is also here, our state treasurer from Vermont, our statewide constitutional officer. Did you know that there's so many out, openly gay constitutional officers? We're so proud of that. And of course, in every story, our fight and our story gets lost. The hero has fallen, and it's the darkened night of the soul. Well, friends, make no mistake. We're at that period of time right now. This is our dark night of the soul. In 1991, this organization was founded to help grow the number of out LGBTQ plus elected officials. Now, the LGBTQ plus Victory Fund is doing the work to reimagine what we are doing in this period of time. I want to give special recognition to one of our founders who is here in this room, Lynn Greer, who still to this day continues the effort and being with us here. A round of applause to Lynn Greer. Our founders who still is here, still shows up each and every day. That arc is continuous in our lifetime. We're actively training more LGBTQ leaders than ever today. And now we're supporting candidates like Chris Pappas to keep Tammy Baldwin company in the United States Senate. We are supporting candidates like Tony Atkins, a former speaker of the state assembly, former pro tem of the Senate, and now an endorsed candidate for governor in our beautiful state of California. And of course, when there are elections or elections that we didn't anticipate, or special elections, I'm looking right at you, Daniel Hernandez for Congress in Arizona. We are there with you each and every step of the way. We are the tip of the spear and a future in which our officials are in every place throughout seats of power, from local city councils, school boards, and everywhere in between. And so we hope that this will also lead us to the trajectory of the ultimate goal of being in the White House. We need to win this fight, and we need you to do it together. To our allies, to our corporate partners, thank you. To win this fight and claim victory, we call on each and every one of you to join us. And I want to be very clear again. We refuse to be extinguished. We refuse to be eliminated, and we will not be erased. Let us reaffirm our commitment to making our mark, which is that no ignorance, no vitriol, no oppression can erase what we do together. And today we will claim our rightful place in history. Finally, as I wrap up, I want to make mention of the important work of our Victory Action Board as well as our Institute. We are going to, again, reaffirm our commitment to welcoming each and every one of you about the hard work that is required. So dig deep and think about ways that you can also invest in our community, because we need each and every one of you to be there. Lastly, the big, fabulous shoes that I'm filling. Where is Anise Parker? Where is Anise Parker? So, to the fabulous shoes of Anise Parker, serving with pride and distinction was not easy as an out lesbian in Houston. And I say, I'm feeling the fabulous shoes of you, Anise. Anise calls them boots. Gay men and lesbian women speak different languages, for sure. And so she'll often say, like, I'm a butch lesbian from Houston. And I said, yeah, I'm a gay Asian millennial from the Bay Area. Same. But the commitment that we share is the investment. We are products of the LGBTQ plus Victory Fund, and now we are in these positions to pay it forward. And so for the Gaybies, we help to ensure that you understand and remember our history, that we stand on the shoes and the shoulders. That's why Anissa is so short now, because we stand on her shoulders. And we're not done with you, Anise, so you're going to see a little bit from her more as well, too. So again, thank you so very much. I want to conclude by saying there's great news. We have all the money that we need to meet this moment. The bad news is the money is in your pockets. And so we know that you will dig deep and join our efforts. Thank you so very much to our Victory Fund for all of you being here. Now, to move this program along, let me introduce you to someone who knows how to move the legislative process along, and that's none other than the Speaker of the Assembly, the House in Rhode Island, Speaker Joe. Welcome.